The next station is
Hayes and Harlington.
Good morning from Hayes and Harlington. It's 7:30 on a Sunday. Elizabeth Line trains don't normally use this platform, but because we started from Paddington Main Line, not Paddington Deep Level, we are on this platform. So yeah, here's the outside of Hayes and Harlington, obviously a station that was rebuilt for Elizabeth Line. Lots of new buildings popping up as well, most of them residential, but there are, I think, a couple airport hotels because we're very close to Heathrow, as that Superloop bus tells you. Obviously, it's a newly rebuilt station, it's fully step-free, but this station is nice, though that's not the real focus of this video. We're going from here, Hayes and Harlington, to Hayes and Harlington. There seems to be a bit of confusion this morning because the train into Shenfield is departing on platform 2, which is not the normal Liz Line platform. Alright, so let the journey begin from Hayes and Harlington to Hayes and Harlington. Here we go. Okay, Ealing Broadway. Again, on the not normal Elizabeth Line platforms. My first plan to get to Hayes was to get the Central Line over to Bank and then walk to Cannon Street to get my Southeastern train from there. Central Line gets a bad rap within central London because it is quite crowded and hot, but once it goes above ground, it's quite an enjoyable ride. I decided to change my plans up Bond Street though, because I feared I would get into Bank a little bit too late to make my train. I then got onto the Jubilee line where I'd try to catch a train at London Bridge. I could have just stayed on the Elizabeth line from Ealing Broadway to Bond Street and done this, but oh well. Turns out my train was a few minutes late anyway because the Southeastern network was quite congested. Go figure, this was on the Arsenal Victory Parade day. This is the Networker, a train that I have a very strong love-hate relationship with. The seats aren't the worst that I've seen on trains across London. In fact, I'd argue they're one of the better ones, but they are 2+3, so walking through the train can be a bit annoying, and there's also no power outlets. We're currently traveling down what is known as the Mid-Kent line, or just the Hayes line, that runs from Lewisham to Hayes. Service here is only every half an hour, which isn't exactly great. And there are very ambitious and probably far-fetched plans to convert this line to part of the Bakerloo line extension once it goes past Lewisham. But let's get that first stage done first. So this is Hayes. We've successfully traveled from Hayes and Harlington to Hayes. Unfortunately, since this train got really late, I only have a couple more minutes here. But yeah, this is Hayes. Oh, it's a Pi bus, 314. Yeah, this station's incredibly basic. Cool sign though. But yeah, let's go back because the train will turn very, very soon. Not that many amenities at the station. Small little car park over there. Yeah, doesn't look like anything special. But this train is turning straight back in the next minute. And here we go, leaving Hayes. Let's go to Harlington. Working our way back, here at Elmer's End, you can make a cross-platform transfer from a Southeastern train to a tram.
It only works in one direction, but it's still a cool feature. Now, after going back to London Bridge, I got on the Northern Line to St. Pancras, but didn't film any of it because there were gooners everywhere. No, not that kind. The Thameslink core was actually closed today, so I couldn't have gone on it at London Bridge. That would have been a lot nicer. But instead, I'm now heading on the Midland Main Line, train towards Bedford, that makes no stops between West Hampstead and St. Albans. The Midland Main Line mostly carries trains run by East Midlands Railway, including the Meridians, which are going out of fashion, but I got to travel on them in first class. Check out the video in the top right to see what that was like.
This train terminates at
And here we are at Harlington. I've done it. I've gone to Hayes and Harlington. Hayes and Harlington. This is the silliest thing I've ever done. So I have 15 minutes here until the next Thameslink train back to London. Unfortunately, this station does not seem to be step-free, but let's count how many steps there are. 18 here. And another 18, that's 36 steps, equivalent to a 15-story building. Got a bit of a car park right outside the station. And there seem to be some houses over here, but like, they can't really access the station. There's no footbridge unless they have to like go up that bridge over there. It's not the most pedestrian-friendly station, I will say. Let's go check out the old station building though. It's locked.
Harlington Station first opened in 1868 and was restored in the 1980s as part of Thameslink getting its more frequent service there. This weekend there were only trains every half an hour, but on weekdays it can get up to 4 an hour, and even more during peak hours.
Got an older Thameslink logo down here. Of course, by the time you're seeing this video, Thameslink will be nationalized. Aww, I was hoping to get the Aurora on its own, but the Meridian was in the way. Oh well. And that's that. Back to London.
And there we go, leaving behind the countryside of Bedfordshire. And that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Actually, you know what? There's one more thing we're gonna do today. I'll be real, I didn't even know that busway existed before I saw it. Maybe I'll ride it on the way back. But what I've come to see is just down the road. And here it is. This is the entrance to Kenilworth Road, Luton Town's home stadium. That's it. That's how you go in the stadium. So yeah, shout out the Luton Town fans. I hope to see you guys back in the championship soon. Or even the Prem, maybe. And just to be clear, there are other ways into the stadium, but that one, the Oak Road entrance, is the most iconic. Let's go get on the busway, back to the station, and get out of here.
The Luton to Dunstable busway was first opened in 2013 and replaces what was a former railway between Luton and Dunstable. The former railway was one of the many across the UK that was lost to the beaching cuts, and there were many ideas discussed on how to reactivate it, including branching off Thameslink, running a single-track diesel shuttle, or even converting it to a tram. None of those quite worked out, and in the end, this guided busway was chosen. Many different bus companies run on here, as you expect with deregulated buses across the country. And it wasn't exactly cheap either, setting me back nearly £3 to just go one station. I could have just done the 20-minute walk, but I like cool transit infrastructure, what can I say? And with that, now this video is coming to an end. And I will see you probably not in Luton ever again. I'm just glad I got to go there. If only once.